The luteal phase fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. Today, it could be the fact that the moon is in Cancer. I don't normally do well after a lunar return. Then the moon goes into Cancer. Like, it's just a feels trip. And then the sun's having its last day in Pisces. So it just feels kind of sad. I feel like my brain is overactive, and it's trying to distort things on purpose, just for fun. It straight up feels like when I was a kid and I used to go boogie boarding at the beach. And I would have the tether attached to either my wrist or my ankle. It didn't really matter, because either way, the result was the same. At least once, I would always get turned over in the waves as they crashed. And, I couldn't breathe because the boogie board was literally holding me underwater. And you just sort of get bruised and skinned up by the sand. And, it's just a tumultuous moment where it's just, you don't really know which end is up. You just know that you're being bent in a pretzel and you really need some air, and you were having fun a minute ago, but now you have salt water all up your face. I've talked about my mother wound more extensively in my episode called Healing the Maiden When the Mother is Broken. I've talked about it too. Like, deep mother wounds are one of my core problems, or core repetitive issues, because I feel like the more we were pushed away or not cherished by our parents, the more difficult it is to connect with other people as you age, right? Because these things pop up, these negative self-beliefs that you formed as a child based on these unhealthy relationships with our parents. So I personally have a lot of these things coming up to visit, and they're all mother wounds right now. And it's really funny because I've been leaning harder into my femininity and trying to figure out what the healthy expression of that is, because I've only had negative examples my whole life. Just in case anybody thought that I didn't have shit to deal with, I have ghosts too. All my ghosts come from being told I was an accident, or like my mom said she loved me, but she didn't like anything about me. She didn't want to know who I was as a person. So I generally have developed this shadow belief that people are nice to my face, but they don't really like me. And that I'm going to get gray rocked any fucking second. And when I have women's brains physiologically change when they go through their hormone cycles, I'm dealing with that. So my brain, I've worked on my brain throughout the rest of the month when it comes to these things, but they will pop up when my brain changes and be like, ha ha ha, have you mastered us in this phase of your brain or your cycle? These are your ghosts, ha ha ha, are you strong enough? It's funny, in the middle of while I'm swimming and just like inundated with all these mother wounds, I'm having beautiful experiences with women in my DMs every single time I post a photo from my photo shoot. Or I went out to the grocery store yesterday and this beautiful deaf woman couldn't speak, can't listen to me, screamed at me just to get my attention to tell me she liked my outfit. She was, gesturing all up and down, and she was being so sweet. And these women are reflecting sweetness and softness back to me in the middle of me fighting these ghosts. And it's tearing me apart inside because I have such conflicting messages going on inside my brain. So I'm trying to sit with it and witness it while it happens. This contrast is a beautiful thing for me to see and feel, because I don't know how these two things can coexist in the same brain. So I'm having to make healthy choices mentally because I'm seeing such beauty reflected back to me. I know that the world is a reflection of you on the inside. So as many shadows as I still have, as many voices tethered or negative ties to the past that I still have, and I might always have those wounds because I'm moon conjunct Chiron. Those are my open wounds. I'm helping other women heal through visiting my femininity and expressing it as truly as I possibly can, with as much purity as I possibly can, because that's my goal, is not to, I'm not exposing myself to be sleazy. I'm exposing myself because I have less and less to hide. I have less and less to hide. So I have more and more to be proud of. I've worked harder and harder every year. And the more I hear from women that what I'm doing is inspiring to them, the harder I'm going to lean into that. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's giving me that feedback. And I also want to say, you know, I deal with this shit too. I love you girls. And I support you back. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you to everybody who's showing me support and love, even though I'm human and I'm not perfect. I appreciate you so much from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys. Guess this is more of a vlog than anything else.